Savants are the people with the most amazing brains in the world. Autistic people, whom we unknowingly think of as retarded, can actually do incredible things. The fact is that savantism is not a separate disease. It is just a symptom that can be caused by a variety of brain problems, from physical trauma to dementia. But more on that later. And now we'll introduce you two unique people. Leslie Lemke. Leslie was a long-awaited child. His parents dreamed of having a beautiful, cheerful, and healthy baby boy. And so they were horrified when they saw their son, a twisted creature with brain damage and cerebral palsy. In addition, Leslie turned out to have the most severe form of glaucoma, so doctors had to amputate the child's eyes in the first days of his life. Leslie's parents waived their parental rights, but nurse Leslie May Lemke firmly adopted the baby, getting thus a sixth child in addition to her own five. After learning to eat, talk, and move around on his own, for a long time all Leslie did was sit in silence for hours, listening to the sounds and conversations of others, and then repeating them with precise intonation. One day he heard a recording of Tchaikovsky's Concerto No. 1 on television. After listening to the music, Leslie walked over to the old piano in the living room and played it for the first time. From that moment on, Leslie began to play it constantly. When he heard the tune, he would play it back. The musical style didn't matter. Soon Lemke took part in several TV shows. And the movie was made about him and his adoptive mother, the woman who wished a miracle. Since 1980, he has been performing concerts and touring all over the world. But unfortunately, Lemke's health was deteriorating. He began to develop Alzheimer's disease. He passed away in 1993. Badra. Ellen is one of the few female savants, blind and mentally retarded. She's like a Leslie Lemke. First hearing a tune, can immediately play it on the piano or guitar, though usually with mistakes and distortions. But Ellen has a unique talent, which until now has not been recorded in any savant or any other person. She uses echolocation as well as whales and bats. The first to notice her abilities were her parents, who were shocked to see that the 4-year-old blind girl is perfectly oriented in space. She doesn't touch any jams, goes around chairs, and easily runs down the stairs, but all the time muttering to himself under the nose of some strange is not a song or something muttering. It turns out that the way the sound spreads makes Ellen aware of objects in her path, so she cannot get lost, and not only in space but also in time. When the girl was 5 years old, she became interested in the stopwatch. It was explained to her what it was. She listened to the ticking for a few seconds, and since then, she can tell exactly how much time is it at a given moment. She currently plays with her band, the Dire Makers, where she is the lead soloist. Ellen is featured in Islands of Genius by Daryl Treffer. How to get savantism? Scientists can still only speculate on the causes of savantism. Professor Nancy Minshew of the University of Pittsburgh, who has dedicated her life to the problem, claims that abnormally high levels of testosterone, the masculinity hormone, in newborn savants cause increased brain growth and simultaneously suppress the production of the hormone oxytocin, which is responsible for successful socialization. Neurophysiologists at Vanderbilt University in Nashville believe that there are several dozen genes in the male X chromosome that are responsible for giving birth to a savant baby. This may explain the fact that there are 5 times more male savants than female savants. Professor Edwin Cook of the University of Chicago suggests the existence of a virus that causes a mutation in the neurons of the brain. Be that as it may, the brain structure of savants is indeed unique. Kim Pig, for example, has no separate hemispheres of the brain at all. While some scientists argue about the causes of the syndrome, others are ready to put the production of geniuses on the stream almost tomorrow. Neurophysiologist Bruce Miller of the University of California and Alan Sider of the University of Sydney independently scanned the electromagnetic activity of the brains of several savants and obtained completely identical results. It turns out that in the arterial region of the left temporal lobe is the genius zone. The vast majority of people have it disabled from birth. Electromagnetic activity in this part of the brain is practically zero. If you stimulate its work, the men will be brilliant, scientists thought, and have already reached for the scalpels, as at the last moment they decided to limit the magnetic stimulation. During the experiment, 5 of the 17 volunteers improved their performance in arithmetic calculations and drawing several times over. Their creativity increased by 40%. The subjects were able to use the reservoirs of the unconscious. Sider says, "Of course, the result is not very impressive, but neurophysiologists didn't hold out much hope for such a weak method of influence. If only one volunteer agreed to craniotomy and implantation of neurostimulators, but there are no fools yet, and no artificially bred savants either." Thank you for watching the video to the end. Subscribe so you don't miss the next video.